Donald Trump glitched badly. We have the receipts as he attempted to announce a framework for an Israeli Gaza ceasefire and peace deal. The framework is pathetic. It's never going to work. We'll talk about that in a moment. But here is Donald Trump calling for the creation of a new body. He's going to hit the body. It's an international oversight body. Who will be in charge of this body? I'll give you two guesses, and you probably only need one.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name, the Board of Peace, which will be headed, not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy, but we have to make sure this works. The leaders of the Arab world and Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want.
Everybody else wanted it. Trump would have just assigned it to someone else. But everybody came to him and said, you've got to do it, sir. No one can broker peace like you.
Some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it. And we'll do it right. And we're going to put leaders from other countries on and leaders that are very distinguished leaders. And we'll have a board. And one of the people that wants to be on the board is the UK former Prime Minister, Tony Blair. Good man, very good man. And some others. And they'll be named over the next few days. And it'll be quite the board. Working, everybody wants to be on it now.
Oh, yeah. So Donald Trump has found the solution. And he has put himself in charge of carrying it out. Now, Donald Trump had another one of these glitches, and these are getting pretty serious. Donald Trump glitched when trying to say Abraham. He instead said Abraham, and his shoulder just glitches. Something is happening in his brain when this happens. I'll say a little more about the pronunciation in a moment. But take a look at this, glitching badly.
Israel, then I have, in addition to negotiating the Abraham.
Did you guys see that? Abraham. Something is happening in the connection between Trump's body, about which so much has been written, good and bad, and his brain. Abraham. Take one more look.
Then I have, in addition to negotiating the Abraham Accords, I like to say it that way because the real people, that's what they call Abraham. I would say Abraham, but it's so much nicer when you say Abraham. So much more elegant.
Now, Trump, in Hebrew, and this was alongside depraved and dilapidated Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this press conference at which they took no questions, by the way. In Hebrew, it is Avraham. I don't know that Trump really knows that. He just seems to have glitched again and gone into this shoulder seizing thing. All right, moving on, more substantively, an extraordinarily low energy Trump. You would think the big news here would be, hey, we made a deal, even if Hamas has not agreed to it, which we will talk about in a moment. You'd think the big news would be we made an incredible deal, finally. But instead, it was a very low-energy Trump complaining about his broken teleprompter again.
Agency in United Nations was interesting because, as you know, a few days ago, they introduced me. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, I'm looking at my teleprompter, and the thing was dead, stone cold, dead.
Dead.
The thing's up here. I have a long, beautiful speech to make. I'm back 30 feet back. And I'm saying, they're introducing me, there's nothing on my teleprompter.
The prompter he famously doesn't need, of course.
So, but I made a speech. I actually got good marks. You think Biden could have done that? I don't think so. I don't think he could have done that. I don't think too many people could have done it. But actually, it was actually more of a speech from my heart, if you want to know the truth. I think it was maybe better in certain ways because it was from the heart.
Yeah, when Trump speaks from the heart, you can really tell that he's deeply, deeply spiritual. In another moment that really just made anyone who cares about government ethics cringe, Trump talked about how great the Qatari emir is. And of course, he did get gifted a plane. And all of a sudden, this is a great guy.
And I want to thank the Prime Minister. It was fantastic. We agreed to launch a formal trilateral mechanism between Israel, Qatar, and the United States to begin a dialogue to enhance mutual security, correct misperceptions, and avoid future misgivings. And I want to thank Qatar, its leadership, and the Emir. He's a fantastic person. I think, I'm going to be his public relations man because I know him differently than a lot of people know.
We know he gave you a plane.
But he wants peace. He wants to see peace. And his people, and they really acknowledge the critical role that they played as mediator.
Really just a remarkable profile in non-corruption. Finally, they decide we are going to be ending this press conference taking absolutely no questions, which makes it not much of a press conference.
Question or two from perhaps a friendly Israeli reporter, if there's such a thing.
That's a very, very tough proposition. But I would think, Mr. President, that I would go by your instinct that this is, we'll have enough time for questions. Let's settle the issue first, I think. No.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
That is too horrible. I'm shocked that the stage did not collapse under the weight of horrible alone from these two individuals here. So listen, the analysis of the deal, quite simply, Hamas isn't going to go for it. A council of peace headed by Donald Trump. I don't see how Hamas agrees to that. You all know Hamas is a terrorist group, right? I mean, it's not but you got to offer something better than Trump's going to run the Council of Peace. Offering amnesty for members who accept peaceful coexistence with Israel, hardly attractive. I don't think that that's going to really convert too many people. Supposedly, Arab countries have committed to the demilitarization of Gaza, according to Trump, which is cool. I mean, listen, if it's true, that would be a major and positive step. In practice, there is absolutely no indication of what that means. It's sort of like they've agreed to get rid of food dyes. Okay, so is there a regulation? No. Who's agreed? Well, some people told Bobby that they're going to get rid of food dyes. This is weak stuff. And I would be stunned if this actually led to any serious progress. But listen, they made an announcement. They got up on the stage. Trump glitched badly, and we will see where it lands. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe based on this video on YouTube. That really helps us, and it costs you nothing. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back.